Welcome to today's Explainer. I am so incredibly thrilled to have you here because today we're decoding a biological mystery that's honestly going to feel like a total game changer for so many families. If you've ever felt like getting the kids to sleep is just this daily, exhausting war, well, you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you there's a completely different way? Today, we're diving into a fascinating biological approach to children's bedtime, and it comes straight from a remarkable Japanese philosophy. We're going to break down exactly how this works, step by step. So, let's just jump right in.
Okay, picture two completely different evenings. In the first scenario, it's the all-too-familiar 90-minute battle. It's 9:45 p.m., the kids are physically exhausted but somehow mentally hyperactive, the caregivers are totally burnt out, and honestly, everyone's just frustrated. This exact scene plays out in countless Western homes every single night. But now, picture this alternative. In a typical Japanese home, the lights are off. A 4-year-old girl lies down on a soft futon on the floor. Her eyes close, her breathing slows, and she is fast asleep by 8:12 p.m. There are no tantrums, no demands for one more story, no sudden desperate need for a glass of water, just a calm 12-minute transition right into sleep.
I know exactly what you're thinking. How on earth is a 12-minute transition even possible? Look, if you're a parent fighting that 90-minute battle every night, your struggles are incredibly valid. It feels literally impossible to get an energized kid to just lie down and rest. But here's the thing. What's happening in Japan isn't some strict disciplinary tactic, and it definitely isn't magic. It's actually a biological mystery just waiting to be solved. And to solve it, we really need to look at how we fundamentally misunderstand the biology of sleep itself.
You see, the core biological mistake we make is that we treat sleep like a switch. Think about it. We let kids run around, play aggressively, and stare at glowing screens until exactly 8 p.m. And then we just hit a metaphorical switch, demanding they immediately shut off and go to sleep. But human biology, it doesn't work that way. A highly active nervous system literally cannot be turned off like a light switch. What it actually requires is a sunset. It needs a natural, gradual fading of energy. And that biological truth brings us right to the core of our explainer today.
Enter the Japanese concept of yoru no doji. Translated, it literally means preparing for the night. Now, this is not a rushed 15-minute bedtime routine. No, it's a proactive afternoon to evening philosophy. The entire goal of yoru no doji is the gradual relaxation of the nervous system over a full 4 to 5 hour period. The focus isn't just on trying to fix the exact moment the child gets into bed, it's about designing the entire evening so that when bedtime finally does arrive, sleep isn't a struggle at all, it's actually a massive biological relief.
Let's walk through how this builds across a typical afternoon. You can really see how the energy naturally calms down. At 4 p.m., outdoor, high-energy play stops and activities shift indoors. By 5 p.m., it's time for a warm bath. At 6 p.m., there's a calm dinner, no loud noises, no TV blaring in the background. By 7 p.m., the lights in the house are visibly dimmed down. And by 7:30 p.m., the bedtime process effortlessly begins. This whole flow, it isn't a rigid forced schedule. It's a highly logical, scientific method of preparing the body for sleep. So let's break down the science behind these specific steps.
Step 1. The screen curfew.
Here is where we tackle the single biggest disruptor of the biological clock: 3 hours. That number is honestly staggering. The blue light emitted from tablets, phones, and televisions actively suppresses the production of melatonin, our body's primary sleep hormone, for a full 3 hours. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. If a child is looking at a screen at 7 p.m., it becomes chemically impossible for their brain to naturally produce enough sleep hormones until 10 p.m. We so often think we're fighting a child's stubbornness, right? But what we're actually fighting is a screen that has biologically halted their internal clock.
Because of that 3-hour delay, yoru noji requires screens to be turned off completely by 5 p.m. Instead, you swap them out for quiet, tactile activities. We're talking drawing, playing with building blocks, solving puzzles, or just reading books. Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this for you. For the first 2 or 3 days, kids will absolutely resist this change. They're going to demand their screens. But both research and anecdotal evidence reveal something almost miraculous. By the 4th day, that resistance just vanishes. The child's brain rapidly adapts to this new, calm, screen-free environment.
Step 2. The thermal trigger.
Okay, this is where we tap into some incredibly powerful human physiology. A 15 to 20-minute bath right between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. isn't just about washing off the day's dirt. It is an ancient, scientifically validated sleep trigger. Here's exactly how the mechanism works. Step 1. The warm water raises the body's core temperature. Step 2. When you step out of the bath, the body experiences this rapid cooling effect. And step 3,
That specific drop in temperature sends a massive, undeniable biological signal straight to the brain that it's time to rest. It is literally the most natural sleep aid in human biology. Oh, and here's a fantastic pro tip for you. If your child absolutely hates taking a full bath, just doing a warm foot soak achieves this exact same biological mechanism. How cool is that?
Step 3. Dimming the lights.
This is where we perfectly bring that sunset analogy we talked about earlier to life. After dinner, those harsh, bright overhead lights, they need to be turned off. You want to replace them with small lamps or some low-level ambient lighting, because by doing this, you're effectively mimicking a natural sunset right inside your own home. This low light travels through the eyes and speaks directly to the pineal gland in the brain. Without any external pressure, without any chemical supplements, the pineal gland just gets the hint and starts naturally pumping out melatonin. You are, quite literally, setting the stage for sleep.
When you string these 3 steps together, stopping those screens at 5 p.m., utilizing the thermal trigger of a bath, and then dimming the lights after dinner, you are providing the correct biological signals. And because you're finally working with human biology instead of fighting against it, transforming that agonizing 90-minute bedtime battle into a serene 12-minute transition, that takes merely a single week. Plus, the best part is, it costs absolutely nothing to implement.
So let's look at the fundamental difference between our standard approach and Yodonoji. Think about popular sleep training. It often starts way late, around 9 p.m., and it really focuses on fighting the symptoms of a wide-awake kid using reactive tools, right? We're talking blackout curtains, sticker charts, white noise machines. But on the flip side, the Yodonoji method starts way earlier, at 4 p.m. It completely focuses on fixing the root cause by proactively calming the nervous system long before bedtime even arrives.
There's a quote that perfectly captures the shift in perspective we all really need here. We are fighting the evening stimulation that stops the brain from calming down, not the child's stubbornness. Honestly, understanding this should remove so much of the caregiver guilt we tend to carry. You aren't dealing with a fundamentally badly behaved child every night. You're simply dealing with a biologically misaligned internal clock. Once you remove that overstimulation, the battle just evaporates.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a powerful question to really think about tonight. Are we giving developing brains the slow, natural transition they biologically need, or are we simply demanding they shut off like machines? Yodonoji isn't just some clever parenting trick, it's a profound respect for how the human body actually works. By aligning with our biology rather than fighting it tooth and nail, we can finally bring peace back to our evenings. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope it helps you transform your family's bedtime routine from a daily battleground right into a breeze.